Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help break through those fears and live an awesome life. Why do I work so hard at that? Because I know it's possible, and I know that you're this close to having all of your dreams come true, and it's all possible. Don't believe it? That's why they're not coming true. So I just came back from a run, so I'm probably, looking a little sweaty. I'm actually still sweating. And a little out of breath. So, I want to talk about, I get my best stuff when I'm running because it's sort of meditational for me. I'm connecting with nature and I'm clearing my mind. And so if you meditate, or every day, frequently at least, you'll be able to go into that state of mind. So when you're going to sleep, you'll be able to connect more to theta state, which is the lucid dreaming, where you can get messages, ideas. It's amazing what I get when I go into that. I'm a lucid dreamer every night. They're so clear. One of my friends said, "Oh my God, you have like every detail." I said, "Oh yeah, this just goes on and on." So that's what meditation does. It clears your mind. So when I go out running, it's so beautiful. I'm connecting with nature, and I'm really not trying to think about stuff. So what happens is other things come to me. And so I have to have trigger words so that I remember when I get back, and I got 3 great ideas for videos for you. You would think I'd run out by now. I do one every day. I've done one every day for over 2 years. Yeah, I know. I have over 1,000 videos easily as of this video. As you can see, it's December 2017, holiday time. All right, so I want to talk about manifesting in 60 seconds. You see all those videos. Manifest in 60 seconds. In other words, let's get as many views as possible, because you're really not going to learn how to do that. Why? Because, I'm going to tell you why. You can manifest in 60 seconds. You're actually manifesting in a split second all the time. So that is a true statement for everything and everybody. There's no mystery to that. So when they say manifest in 60 seconds, they didn't say manifest $1 million in 60 seconds, did they? I haven't seen that one yet. If they do, they're probably going to get in trouble because somebody's going to be really ticked. I'm going to turn this off when I cough so it's not annoying to you. When you run, all this, if you have any congestion, I have some allergies, it just breaks everything up and clears everything out. Don't be afraid to push yourself. All right, so I want to talk about manifesting in a split second. Absolutely. Is there such thing as spontaneous healing? Absolutely. Is there such thing as spontaneous awakening? Absolutely. But let's talk about what it really is. You could say, well, Eckhart Tolle had a spontaneous enlightenment. I had a spontaneous healing on my foot. It was boom, and it's never come back. I had extreme pain. I was going to go get an operation, and it was gone. Nothing is actually truly spontaneous, and at the same time it is. Now let me explain. You're probably going, "Oh, I got to click." No, don't. Hear me out. Listen to me, because this is going to make so much sense to you. Because if you're frustrated about not being able to manifest something, I want you to have this information, and it'll start to really click, and you'll be able to switch over to what it takes to manifest what you want. Nothing happens just like that. It's always an accumulation of cause and effect. What that is the tipping point of all the things that happen up to there. So when Eckhart Tolle had a spontaneous enlightenment, he just didn't go from, "Oh, I'm just in a bad space," boom. You could say, well, yeah, he did. He was ready to kill himself. It was the accumulation of him hitting that rock bottom and then letting go of all the pain, all the hurt, all the trying to control things that allowed him to then go boom into that tipping point of total enlightenment. He had to go through that total horrible point where he actually let all of it go. It was the letting go. It wasn't he was in a horrible place and then he was enlightened. He was in a horrible place and he let it go. He no longer cared about anything. Anything. That's when people go to kill themselves. It's because they completely let go of the real world. They're in such a deep, dark place. It's like they don't even care about life anymore, right? The ones that truly want to leave here and do it. Others like are hoping they'll get saved, and sometimes they don't. So it was an accumulation of a life of pain and hurt, which he signed on for. And he got to this point where he had a total release. In fact, he was told as he was going into this like vortex abyss, I can't remember the exact words. It was like, don't fight it, let go. In other words, release it. Don't fight it. Let it go. Don't fight it. In other words, they were taking him the powers, the energies that he was now opening himself up to, because he had a mission. Obviously, he has a huge mission as a teacher. He wasn't going to be able to do that. He had to go through that total pain in order to teach others. So that was part of his mission, was to get in a place where he could tell you, I've been there. I wanted to kill myself. I was going to kill myself. I was homeless for 2 years. Did you know that? He was homeless for 2 years, but he was in an awakened state. So he said he didn't care if he was homeless. It didn't matter anymore because he was in such bliss. And then look what happened. I'm sure he's a multimillionaire easily and 10 times over. But he doesn't care about that. He's in total bliss. That's irrelevant. So he's in the total opposite side of where he was. Now he has everything, but it doesn't hold that meaning for him, and now he can do powerful, good things with it. So it was the tipping point. It wasn't just him, boom, going over. It was the accumulation of him getting to that point and then releasing it. It was the cause and effect. Now, he didn't have to let go. He could have gone to a deep, dark place and just killed himself. And then he'd have to deal with it and do it all over again. When you want something, so why, you guys have seen, I've manifested stuff like that. Right? Now, here's how it works. There's no such thing as time. You remember the velvet tennis shoes I wanted, that where I had to wait 6 months for, that as soon as I thought about it, got an email, said that they were already shipped? Right? You're saying, well, wait a second. How could they already ship and be in stock? They were out of stock. How could they already ship? When I thought about it, how did they get it packaged and everything within the few minutes I thought about it? They didn't. I was already creating it. There's no such thing as time. I was already creating it. So they had already been packaging it. It already came in stock and they were packaging it before I actually really had that thought pattern, because there's no such thing as time. So that my manifesting and desire to have it already was part of that past and the future. I know this gets a little convoluted. You can change the past. So by me wanting to manifest that, I already had people get it in stock, package it, and ship it. By the time I manifested it, I already changed that past to make it happen. It was a tipping point. If I didn't want it, I don't know, maybe it would have showed up. I don't know anyways, I doubt it. Maybe it would have been a few months. I didn't change that past. So you have control over the past, the present, and the future. What you need to realize is there is a series of decisions along the way that create that 60-second manifestation. So if you keep making these decisions over here, and you're trying to manifest this over here, that cause and effect is getting you so far away from it, and then you say, well, I want that. But every decision you made was getting you further and further and further away, and you could have taken this path anyway. It's an accumulation of thought patterns, beliefs, actions, and every split second gets you closer to what you want. So if you're an open gateway and you have no blocks and barriers, and what you can manifest like that, because the cause and effect is you got yourself to that point where you were the open gateway. You meditated, you practiced every day, and now you're an open gateway, and then it appears that you're manifesting like that, but you really don't have any blocks anymore. So it wasn't like, oh, you can manifest. It's like, I had a cause and effect that got me to this point. I wasn't always manifesting like that. So everything is a tipping point. So look back. If you're not getting something, just say, okay, I've been making decisions up to this point that's bringing me nowhere near my tipping point. Does this make sense? That's how people manifest in split seconds. They're already creating it in the past. They're already an open gateway. And then you think about it, and everything changes, and that event then happens that gets the shoes to you now. This is all real, by the way. This is quantum physics. This is not me making up some crazy stuff. I'm not doing the crazy talk. Ooh, iced tea. All right. This is why you have to be the gatekeeper every split second. When you manifest and you open yourself up to pure, all possibilities, pure light, pure love, no blocks, no worry, no frustration, you are an open gateway to total spontaneous manifestation. Not because it's happening in that split second, but because you created that tipping point where you opened that gateway. You had to do things along the pathway and make decisions. So you start making those decisions now. So when something's not showing up, say, well, wait a second, I watched that video, How to Manifest in 60 Seconds, but everything you did up to that point, that's those 60 seconds, has been totally against manifesting what you want. You have to backtrack and say, I have not been doing what it takes to get that thing that I want. The relationship, the job, the money, the total freedom, the peace, the joy. Really, isn't that all we want is peace and joy? When you do that, you're Eckhart Tolle. Millions fly at you because there's no barrier to abundance. So shoot for the abundance and joy. Shoot for the peace and joy, and the abundance will be a part of that. It always will. It always is, because there's no limits. When you go into the limitless space that you are, and you stop believing anything less than that, everything has to manifest. It has to. It's the law. Because you're limitless and you can create anything. If you're thinking something different, you're creating that. The law is it's going to give you what you create. And you're creating worry, doubt, disbelief. So that's what you're creating. That's the tipping point. The tipping point is continually not getting what you want until you release it, and then you connect to the thing you desire. And then, like I said, somebody in another reality and another time packaged your velvet shoes, shipped them, and sent an email at that moment that you manifested it. It already happened. You've got to keep up your open gateway. There's nothing to ever be afraid of. There's no such thing as true darkness. It's just the light expressing itself. It has free will to do that. It's just something, somewhere, somewhere else. That's a reality you don't have to connect to. You don't have to watch it, believe it. Tell yourself that's your world. Your world is whatever you want it to be. Mine doesn't have wars. Mine doesn't have all the stuff that a lot of people have. I'm not living in their reality. I never will. I don't want to ever go to that. I'm way past that. So if you're telling yourself the world is a bad place and you're connecting to that energy, you're really creating some serious blocks. If you're, watching the bad stuff on TV, hey, it can be addictive. It can be. So that's the challenge. What are you going to choose? Don't expect to have these things over here if you're addicted to the darkness and the conspiracy theories and the rotten, crazy news, the false stuff, and all the other garbage out there that, how is that serving a good purpose? It's not. It's taking you down, trust me. You get to create the tipping point. And as soon as you start to do and make decisions, every split second takes you to that tipping point that appears to be a spontaneous. My spontaneous healing was an accumulation of me really being unhappy in what I was doing in my career and not knowing where I was going to take it and not feeling like I didn't have any options, viable options, not the ones I wanted, and finally letting go. I can remember that night just letting go. In fact, I was okay with just getting an operation. I was like, I'm done. I'll go get the operation. I'm done. And then I quit my job. I was done with that. I was like, I'm not going to try and make decisions anymore. Something's going to come along. I'm allow it, and found my internet marketing, I would never in a million years had imagined that I would be learning how to use the internet to create businesses. It made so much sense when I saw it. I went, oh my gosh, this is where everybody's going. This is where individuals and businesses are going. I have to get on board with this. And it's awesome. I had never done that. It just showed up. It was an ad. It showed up. So, what happens then? You have to act on it. You have to believe it, and you have to stick with it, and you have to keep down that path and make some decisions along the way. It's not always going to be easy. But neither is being miserable, right? So, you choose the tipping point, and it takes a decision now. Quit trying to do the 60-second manifest when you're over here believing absolutely none of it. You can't do it. There's no such thing. So there's really no such thing as 60-second manifesting. It's actually you always manifesting all the time, and you get to decide what that is. You're always manifesting all the time. So it's just the decisions you're making along the way. That's all it is. And the tipping point is when you finally are so sure and released everything and you're okay and you don't have to tell the universe how it comes to you. It will happen. All right? So there's your 60-second manifesting. What am I going to choose today? Am I going to release it? Am I going to know it's done? Of course it's done. It's always done. It's yours. It's yours to have anytime. Right now you can have it. Why? You have to stop expecting certain things. Oh, that's my next video. It's an accumulation of things that take you to the point where you're total open gateway. It's not a trick. It's not a incantation. It's not a one meditation. It's an accumulation. It's a belief system. It's you getting that point where, boom, you're open, man. You are totally open. And that's how I'm doing it. So if I have a day where I'm blocked a little bit, or like right now I have a little bit of a pressure sinus headache because I just went for a run and our barometric pressure is changing a little bit. You know, it might be a little tough for me to concentrate on certain things, so, you know, just roll with it. Just roll with it. So, does this make sense? Everything's a tipping point. Everything. Start working on it now. And yes, you can have something spontaneous, but not because you're in a dark place and you don't believe and then you expect it to happen. It's you, every split second, getting to that tipping point. And you can create it. And it can happen pretty quickly, like Eckhart, like me, when you just go, I'm done with it. You're whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You're a miracle worker. Use it. You have that power. It's in your hands. It's in your body. It's your mind. It is you. You are pure energy. You are perfect in light. You're going to connect to that any split second you want to. There's your tipping point. Namaste.